That's it, Mrs. Pushing the button.
Okie
Welcome
dokie.
back.
Hello. Neato.
Hello. Oh,
Hello,
I should push a
hello.
button. I should push a button. We should start the show. All the things.
Oh.
We're so goddamn professional when it comes to setting everything up and making everything look good, and then when it comes to doing the actual job, oh hey, how's it going? Hey, welcome. Oh, sorry, we weren't ready. Oh. Got to work on that and get better at this job, Mrs. Both of us. Anyway, though, hi, welcome back. You look absolutely beautiful. Welcome back, Mrs. Ryan. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Today is Tuesday, January 21st, 2020. Oh, my goodness gracious. My name is Jay Ryan. This is Nicole Ryan. We are the Ryans, and this is the Late Night Playset. Welcome back. Welcome back. As I've said 15 times, welcome back. It is what it is. It is what it is. Gary Delabate says hello a few times on the wrap-up show as well. We're working on it. Hi. How you doing? How you feeling? Mrs.
Horrible.
I look beautiful, so I must feel like shit today?
Exactly.
Really?
My feet do not work. Nothing works. From
You're very
my waist
slammy
down.
today. Is it
I have
things
no
aren't where you-
dexterity, and I think I do when I pick something up, and I don't.
things with different weight or holding on to things?
Both.
Eh.
It's super fun.
Oh, I know you don't mean that, so I love that you're saying it with a giant old smile and a twinkle in your eye.
My option is get a wheelchair or a walker, and I don't want that.
Yep.
So the option that I'm choosing is live in a happier place in my head. That's all I can do.
I love you. I support this. I know other people think it's a little nuts. It is what it is. You don't have to deal with it. You don't know what it's like. She does.
Yeah.
I love you. I don't have too much to do today. We had a wonderful weekend. We've got a wonderful guest today who I should tell you about a little bit. Oh, my goodness. All right. Let's see. Our guest is professional voiceover artist Ian James Corlett. But can I call you Electric Porsche too? Sure. But he's also a Porsche guy, and he's a Porsche file, I'm going to say, and he's converted a 912 into an electric Porsche, and everybody in the Los Angeles area knows him and his car, and we're all going to get to know him a little bit here on the show today. Sounds exciting.
Can't wait.
We've seen him at events for literally years, and when we started doing this a little bit, he was like, oh, well, if you ever need a guest, let me know. And we said, absolutely, when we're ready, we'll do it. And we've just been doing this show left and right, and now I feel like we're at the point where... well, you correct me if I'm wrong here, but we're going towards growth in what we do at the job. The show is a show. It exists. There's a box on your television, and you can click on it. We have a website and everything. But getting better at the show, we joked ahead of time, and nowadays I feel like it's more important than ever with the goals that we have going forward.
It's taking it to the next level, and that's us.
So the guy that's here
Yeah.
today is a professional industry guy, and he's probably even done panel on shows before. So it's one of those things where, we're ready for him. It's exciting. Excited to have the conversation.
Can't wait to talk to him. We see him in Malibu sometimes, yeah?
I think we see him everywhere. The
Yeah.
cars and coffees, the just driving around.
I'm glad to talk to him finally.
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
Plus, I think he's an interesting character because we have watched his... Actually, you know what? I'm going to do that because we don't have a whole lot of stuff top of show. So we're actually going to watch his
His
the reel.
reel?
Yeah, well, we have to put it up anyway, so may as well do it, and then we can...
Cool.
Then we'll know exactly what we can talk to him about when he gets in here.
Cool.
All right? Should we do that now?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, how about that? This is the reel for the guest you're going to see in here in a few minutes. We'll be back to talk about some other stuff and then get this guest in here. Roll it, Hal.
Keep your shell on. Everybody be cool. I'm on it.
How you like them apples?
Who, us? Come on! Sing! Welcome. Just the 2 bags? Well, care to explain?
Alright, let's rage!
Hello, Pteranodon family. All aboard!
Poseidon, Lord of the Ocean. You're a liar!
Your Eminence, tick-tock. No clocks, Bentley. It throws me off.
No one ages here. We've all been the same age since we were captured.
My name is Goku.
Wait, that was my name. I don't like the looks of this, boss. What do we do?
What am I going to tell Mayor Madison?
Sometimes I roll over things I'm not supposed to.
Okay, kitty's awake.
Back in the cage, Rover. I have a tail and I'm not afraid to use it.
You didn't know what you were doing.
The betrayal was a cry for help. She was a bit hot to swallow, am I right? Everyone will see it is I who should be in control.
You guys look suspiciously hungry for banana nut loaf.
Thanks to you, I realized that sometimes honesty isn't the best policy.
At least that came out his mouth.
The big Fortronian junk sucker. A new babysitter? I might have a few brain waves.
Fight!
Do you smell that? That's the smell of rarity.
So I blasted her into an ice sculpture. It was the start of a whole new career for me.
And while you're at it, can you tell me why I got these buckets on my feet?
All right then, good fortune to all of you. Positions, prepare!
Hey, it's Ransom the Clown here, and I want to tell you about this game called Thimbleweed Park.
Commence punishment!
And I recognize many of my previous expeditions were seen as disappointments to those involved. This, however, will be different. 'Cause I love trains. Woo-hoo! I just love trains. Oh yeah, but I can't explain, and I won't complain. I only know that I love trains. Thank you very much.
That is the greatest. All right. I hope you enjoyed it, because I did. I was laughing my ass off during that. I would watch that if that were a show. All the characters just merged into one. Oh my gosh.
Pretty good.
So talented, and you guys are going to love him when he gets in here. All right, Mrs. Ryan. On to show stuff. Well, speaking of getting better at the job. Yeah. All right, Dave watching as my phone goes off right then and there. All right, somebody else.
Yeah, I heard that.
Not relevant for us. But that opening there shows us that it's Dave watch time. And Mrs. Ryan, if anyone... we have to start doing rehearsals. It's the only way to get better at this. If you've been paying attention to the show this year, you know we've been going after Mr. David Letterman as a guest on our program. There are a few reasons for that. Obviously, he's a great get as a guest and could make our show. There is no doubt about that. Obviously, we are sitting at his old set from his old show. That's obviously pretty obvious as well. What isn't, maybe, if you're just looking at the show, is the backstory behind it, my own history with David Letterman, your history in the industry that's helping put this whole thing together nowadays. So we've been going after Dave on as a guest for the show. Mrs. Ryan, what's new with Dave Watch?
I have a call into his guy this morning, but I've decided that since every day, this is going to happen, blah, blah. So the X will come eventually when he's there. So in the meantime, I figured I would pull the curtain back and tell little tidbits about my life that make this make sense.
Love it.
I found an email this morning from 2006 when I knew this guy. We had talk show magic before. Yeah. He was a segment producer on a show I put guests on. Mm-hmm. And one of the guys...
A famous talk show that's not on the air anymore.
Correct. And...
or the show is, but it's a different host. Is that what it is?
I don't know. Okay. I don't care.
Okay.
But we couldn't remember who the guest was that I helped book on that show and that he worked with on. Oh. And it was in this email that I looked for and have looked for a bunch in the show today. One of the hosts of Top Gear.
You're kidding.
Yeah. We collaborated and made magic happen.
Oh, I see.
Before.
One of the new hosts of Top Gear was your client way back when, and that's the client you had on the show when you worked with Dave's guy when he was not working with Dave yet. Correct. He was just a segment producer on a different talk show. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well,
that's funny because isn't this person going to be a guest on our show soon?
Probably, but I mean the other one.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yes! I know. It goes so deep.
Well, we're working on that one to get him here, too. Boy, that's so funny. Well, we can say their names, right? They host Top Gear now. We're talking about Rob Corddry and Dax Shepard.
Yes, and Dax is the one that I worked with Dave's guy before.
That's so funny. I almost put up a TBT the other day Maybe you won't mind if I do it this week, a picture of you and Dax.
That'd be great.
Okay, cool. From way back when, from probably that time. Maybe even that day, for goodness sake.
Who knows?
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk to him about it because we didn't remember last time we talked. So
Who it was.
Yeah, and he had a totally different great idea, Jack Black, who I worked with also way back in the day, but that's not who he and I worked with. So I can't wait to talk to him about this.
Well, it's funny, too, because Dax Shepard has only blown up since then. You know what I mean? He was probably on Punked and shit way back then.
Yeah, we were promoting Idiocracy and
Oh, God. How's that? Mrs. Ryan worked on Idiocracy, or at least on the promo for it. I mean, that's pretty amazing, considering how goddamn relevant that movie is today.
Yeah. My history's
Mike
pretty
Judge, if
in-depth
anybody doesn't
and
know.
relevant, but I love that movie. It's
Yeah.
great. But it was talk show magic again. So I'm excited.
Small world. With that, and that's been.
That's Dave Rock.
Oh, it's a delight, Mrs. Ryan. All right, well, with that, let us talk about the website's live. Hang on, I've got a picture of it. Not that you couldn't go there and know what it would look like, but that's what it looks like.
Cool.
It's in progress. It's in process. It's being still designed. That's basically, it's the holder page which we want, but I think there'll be some other things in a merch store and stuff. Hopefully this week, maybe?
Hopefully this week, yeah.
Right.
Having those conversations. Now there's a donate and subscribe and watch and listen and all that.
All the stuff.
It's all there.
I love it. Mrs. Ryan, I'm going to go over to the East Coast feed for a second, but it's not going to be what you think it is. It's actually not all that happy. So I'm going to roll over here to the East Coast feed, and I'm just going to show you a picture today instead of a video. Okay. Down there in the bottom right, we have Danbury Chive. We have Steve Kazlauskas. And the other gentlemen in the hats are some other people I don't know from Ridgefield BMW. However, the gentleman not in a hat there in the middle, his name was Bob McManus, and he passed away over the weekend, had a heart attack. And he was the DMV specialist over there at Ridgefield BMW. We've seen him in videos before. He's a good friend of Kaz's, and he was there on Friday, and he's not here anymore. So they said goodbye this morning. Just one of those things. You know, we're at that age where people start to drive. He's 56 years old and just had a heart attack. Just is what it is.
That's a bummer.
My dad was 56
Love
when
you,
he
Kaz.
died, and it seemed so old to me. We had this conversation this morning. I was 18 years old, so it was very old to me. But now, when you're in your 40s, mid-40s, whatever it is, well, 56 feels like tomorrow. And then...
It's closer.
Yeah, the whole perspective changes a bit. And you realize you're at that age where anything can happen, and friends start dropping. It's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we love you, and hearts go to all of our friends and family down at Ridgefield BMW. Sorry for your loss. Love you, Kaz, man. All right, that's it. Mrs. Ryan, bringing it down. All right.
Can't wait to follow that.
It's time to ask the question that's on everyone's mind.
Hilarious.
Oh, what's going on, Mrs. Ryan? Dun, 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 dun.
There's a school in Ireland that it's done this for a few years, but I just read about the most recent one. Every year around Christmas, it takes a month off homework allocations, and it assigns daily acts of kindness.
Instead of homework, meaning this is your homework.
Yeah, they have taken it upon themselves because they're like, you usually learn empathy and compassion from friends and family and at churches and stuff.
Right.
Not everyone does that anymore. And so
No, people are spending more time alone.
Right. And so this school is like, we'll do it ourselves. This is how we're going to try to do it. And they've had great results.
Wow.
Mondays, they ask the kids to call an older person and offer to help. Tuesdays, it's like make nice for a family member that needs your help. Wednesday is whatever you like, any kind of act of kindness. And Thursdays are take care of yourself day.
It's the type of thing that can make people feel much better about themselves, let alone the good they're doing in the world. All of a sudden, they are a better person because they are helping, and then there's this weird thing that happens, this weird chemical reaction inside you that makes you feel better, and it's like magic, and then you want to just do it more and more and more.
That's been a lot of the feedback from the study, the 3 years. It's really cool, and I hope we implement it here.
That's awesome. Yeah. Honestly, I probably would have been a straight A student if it weren't for homework. I just wouldn't do it. I couldn't stand it. I was like, you occupied my time when I was with you, and I wanted to be doing other things. I am doing other things now.
Yeah. I was really pragmatic and did my homework for hours every night to the point of nothing. I just Want to say that.
Wow.
No point.
Amazing.
The FDA has expanded access. It's trying new things. So it's
Food and Drug Administration. That's how much I know.
Yes. They've expanded the application of MDMA, Molly, for studies, for research purposes, for post-traumatic stress disorder.
Is this the God molecule? The Joe Rogan, the God molecule, whatever, it lets you see the
It's
source code or whatever?
One of them, it's a rave drug. Like you can apply
okay.
it in different ways.
maybe it's
But
different.
what it basically does in your body is it shuts off fear. So for people that have like walking on wires and taking thrill-seeking efforts, like it's not always advised. It's but
you need that a little bit of fear to keep you sane.
Totally. But for people with PTSD, a third of people don't respond to conventional treatments, so this is a way to explore other ways to help them.
Wild.
Yeah. Never
Anytime
know.
they're trying something new, I'm into that.
Yeah, me too. I'll talk about Netflix tomorrow. They're expanding into Europe. Lastly, though, Disney World water slides are closing down this week because it's so cold.
I heard that literally because of freezing pipes and stuff like they're worried about frozen. Yeah. Oh,
The
boy.
temperature is down to like 45 at night and 50 during the day, which is like doesn't sound bad, but when you're going on vacation
To Florida, yeah.
to Florida to be in a bathing suit and be in water, like no thanks.
A lot of snow in Hawaii right now as well.
Really?
I mean, just on that same kind of like, oh, weather's weird.
Well, you never know. Don't expect water parks to be working in Florida.
And that's been What's Going On, Mrs. Ryan. God, you are a delight. You are the best.
So glad to hear that.
Hope everyone else knows it. So great.
So glad to hear that.
All right. Well, that's it. Let's take a break, shall we?
Okay.
Let's get a little more formal with this whole thing. We're going to take a break. We're going to get our guest in here. Shit. But I got to do this. We will be back with more Late Night Playset right after these brief words from OSO Delicious Hot Sauce. The hot sauce made by bears.
Oh, so delicious. It's the hot sauce made by bears. Garlic and serrano mixed with love and care. You can put it on your eggs, pour it on your rice. It's great on a leg, it's better on a slice. It's oh so delicious. It's the hot sauce made by bears. Oh, so delicious hot sauce. Great on everything except oatmeal.
Get your bottle today at osodelicious.org. $1 from every bottle sold goes to the National Military Family Association.
Awesome. Well, in that case, why dilly-dally? Let's just come on back.
Sit up straight.
Yeah. And with that, once you're fixed up there, bring the mic to you.
Oh, yeah.
And we are sitting here with Ian James Corlett. How are you, man?
I'm really good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much
Thanks
for
for
joining
being
us
here.
here. Finally getting here in the home studio and the whole bit. You were just checking it out.
Yeah. This is
Do we meet your approval?
amazing. This is absolutely amazing. I have so many questions.
Okay.
First of which,
Sure.
How did you come to have this furniture?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Is this number one question, right?
Yeah, it comes out a lot. We don't talk about it too much on the show anymore, but a lifelong dedication to the subject is generally what I say.
Yeah.
Yeah, my ties with David Letterman go to when I was a child.
Wow.
Living in the same town that he used to live in when he did the show. So
Right.
whenever he was telling you and the rest of America about the kid at the grocery store, or the guy at the gas station, or the guy time he got pulled over and this whatever.
Yeah.
All my town, all our people, we took a little bit of ownership.
Got it.
You know, it was kind of an interesting thing. So I've just been there the whole time.
Well, you're successful.
Thanks, man.
Look at this.
Well, so the deal is that this was at a museum. The show gave it to a museum, and we were lucky enough to get it after the museum no longer needed it, and that's the truth of it.
Yeah.
A hell of a story.
Ask and you will receive, right?
Yeah, in the weirdest way. And if you don't know the microphone story, it really it's the bookend that makes all of this make sense.
I don't know the microphone
We
story.
won't tell it on the show, but
Okay.
she'll send you a link because I literally spilled my guts one time on the show, just telling the
Okay,
story.
good.
And it's a doozy.
I mean, those mics. Okay.
Sure.
Speaking of mics, they were never live. I mean, people were mic'd up on the show, right? I mean, that was just a prop, wasn't it?
This was and still is always live, believe it or not, but it was really just for this.
Yeah.
It was really just for this. You
Yeah.
always had a lav, there was a boom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
But it
know
always
stuff
worked.
about TV.
I know you do, but it always worked.
Well, but You're a voiceover guy too. I
Yes.
mean, so microphones probably are.
Microphones
a thing.
are near and dear to my heart. Yes, I've had many, and I have many.
Is that something? Some people take it very seriously, singers and voiceover artists, where they have favorites, they have attachments, they have maybe a certain particular one they always use and bring with them, type of thing.
Yeah, I'm not that devoted to anything.
Okay.
Except my
To
family.
anything, nothing at all.
Except my family. But no. I'm microphone culture is like any kind of nerd culture.
Yeah.
People get really into certain things. I mean, obviously a Neumann SM50 U87.
Yep. Or U47.
I went to Shure. Anyway, there are people that say that's it. That's the granddaddy of all microphones. I actually use a mic called a Schoeps. SHESCHOEPS, and the characteristics are very, very similar to that Neumann.
Warm.
Very warm, very big, very, very versatile. Has a big condenser, and
Even the Neumanns are the old school Telefunkens remade, right?
very.
So-
yeah, exactly.
And we had the
yeah,
CEO
I've got
of Tele-
questions.
we
I
had
have
the
questions about this too.
We had the CEO of Telefunken on Friday.
Oh,
Or
wow.
Thursday, whatever, last week. Yeah.
So anyway, that's what I use when I travel. I use a different kind of mic, and I get stopped every time I go through the airport because it
Sir,
looks
what-
like
Bring
a
it
weapon.
with you.
No, actually I do have one in the car because I use the car
Sure.
when I need to do something
Right.
quick, and it
As in, you'll record in the car when you need to.
exactly,
Sure.
exactly, yeah. Because cars, not so much my old 912, but modern
Nowadays.
cars are really soundproof, and they're
Insulated.
great. Like if you can, pull off to a side street, they're very good.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they're made to, shield sound from road noise, and it works the Oh, jeez.
They're already soundproof.
I said I was
basically.
good with mics. Whack. Anyway, they're good on the opposite too. So
That's
so when I travel, I use this thing called a Sennheiser 416, which when
It's a boom mic generally, right?
It's a boom mic.
Very long and narrow.
Exactly. So on the X-ray, it looks like, what is this guy carrying?
Yeah.
Is it a pipe bomb? What is it? So.
In the old days, if you'd ever see a little stick coming into the shot on a talk show right about here,
That's
that was
what that
probably
was?
that same
Yep.
kind of mic that you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
Or some version of
That's
it.
what you travel. You're crazy.
Yeah.
Traveling with that.
Yeah, why not?
Cool.
Got to have my stuff.
Well, but that paints an interesting picture to let people know that these are generally quite personal to the person using them, especially if they've chosen a specific thing and have used it for a long time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You have your favorites.
And then what if one day that were to disappear? Do you get the sense of what I'm talking about?
Yes. Yeah, I do.
What would you do? Do you just go replace it, or do you
I-
start from scratch?
I think the story on the Schoeps is, well, I think it's a funny story. My history is in music and music retail. Our family business was that of selling gear. So ever since I was a kid, we would go to the NAMM show in Anaheim,
Yeah, so
NAMM.
you're a tech nerd.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did you just go to the
I did.
last week?
Yeah.
That's why Tony was in town.
So like 5 years ago-ish, I'm at the NAMM show, and I go to one of the booths, and they say, stick your business card in here, and maybe you
win a
can
thing.
win a mic.
Yep.
So I get this call from this German company, this very German guy. He said, "Hello, is this Mr. Corlett?" Yeah. And yeah, you won the Schoeps. And I went, "What?" I didn't even remember entering. And then I quickly looked it up. What the heck did I do? And I looked at the mic and went, "Oh, that's like a $3,000 mic."
Oh man!
Yay
This
me!
is a huge
That's
deal.
awesome.
A huge deal, because that was in the early days. By the way, I used to live like blocks from you guys.
Oh, no
I won't
shit.
say where it
Small
is,
world.
but just over there.
We're
So
in the-
this was
by
my
Universal
walk.
Studios is
Yeah.
what we usually say.
And this was my walking route. So anyway, back in those days when I was just dipping my toe into LA, I didn't travel with my best mic. It was like this was sort of my satellite.
Mm-hmm.
So I could really use like a really good mic. And I went, this is fantastic. So then I get the thing, I start using it. Oh, this is the best mic I've ever owned, actually. And then it worked because I actually ended up buying one. So get one for free.
They got their money. Yeah.
They got their money.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's why I'm Shope's guy. If you look at it, like I'm sure you'll look it up at some point. Like it's a really unusual looking mic. And every time I post a picture from my studio, they go, "Whose mic is? What kind of mic is that?" I say, "Oh, it's very special."
Wow, that's so wild.
What's special about it?
Well, the design of it is very unique. It's like exposed. It looks kind of vintage and modern at the same time. The characteristics are very similar to that Neumann that we were talking about.
Kidding.
Yeah, the U87.
But it's not an old ribbon. It's some modern element that
it's a condenser mic. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow,
yeah,
so
and
cool.
it's
kind of the best of all the worlds, right? Because you don't have the fragility.
It's very good. Yeah, I don't travel with it because I just don't want to have that knocking around anywhere.
Also, you don't want to be that guy. Here I am with my $3,000 microphone. I'm ready to record
Yeah.
your little thing.
No, I never do
less
that.
than for the session is less than what your microphone costs.
For the record, I never do that, and nor do I travel with my own headphones, which is a thing.
Oh, that's a common thing too.
It's a thing, and it's just like I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah. But if you didn't have that concern, wouldn't you be that guy? Because you do have those preferences?
Nope.
Good for you.
This is your space.
Wow.
It's not my space. My space is my space. I can do whatever I want.
It's a great point. It's a great point.
Yeah.
I never really thought about it. I wouldn't take this equipment to do somebody else's podcast.
It's a really interesting way to look at control issues. You don't have any.
Well,
I
thanks
have
for
them, you
saying
don't.
that. Thanks for saying that. For anyone watching that knows me, see, I don't have control issues. That's mostly for my wife.
Oh, good. No control issues.
In that one narrow area of my life.
Well, then we'll try to wrangle this a little bit more and make a story out of it. Where are you from, if not here?
I was born in the Burnaby General Hospital, which is a suburb of Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada.
Okay.
Yes, so I am Canadian through and through. I have a very neutral Canadian accent. Once in a while, the odd word will pop out.
I hear it just in words, but like you're right.
We like to speak the Queen's English without the pomp and circumstance.
Also, with what you do for a living, I assume that no dialect is the best.
It's the best, yeah. Plus, you kind of get it beaten out of you as well.
Because by engineers and other directors?
And producers, and because I really cut my teeth in commercials when I was young. Vancouver used to have a very vibrant, very vibrant commercial production industry, which is not so much now. And so as a result, you do things for international clients, many American ones, and you really learn quickly, like, don't
sound like anything.
Don't sound like anything. Just sound neutral, like a good newscaster, right? Like some of the biggest. Well, a handful of the biggest American newscasters. Oh, I forgot his name now. We're actually Canadian.
Oh,
the guy who was
Tom
Peter
Brokaw.
Jennings.
Oh, Peter Jennings was definitely Canadian. I was going to note that along with what you're saying, though, they maybe Canadian is an element. They all seem to have a speech impediment of some sort, and they just truck through it.
Oh, I know.
Every single from Tom Brokaw to I think of Dan Rather and even Brian Williams just a little bit. Like these guys are all fantastic.
Yeah,
and guys that I
Brian
have looked
Williams.
up to for years. And thank you very much. You get it?
Oh yeah, he's great.
And Tom Brokaw.
Yeah,
he's triple
Marblemouth.
Several letters
but he's
he doesn't
old now.
pronounce.
It could be anything.
I mean, back when he did the job.
Okay, all right. I know.
Peter Jennings, another one. All right, but music was what? Okay, was your music history in Canada as well?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I've only been here. If you count the transition where I kind of go, I'm going to try this. It's about 5 years.
What?
So yeah, because basically what happened was
Let's get the real
I had some trouble in Canada. No, I didn't. No. There's restraining orders and all sorts of things. So I couldn't get into studios with any children.
Oh,
I'm
no.
kidding.
Goodness, you're kidding.
I'm kidding. No.
You're on a lot of children's shows.
I am. And they love me. Just ask my daughter because she is also in the industry and she's more on the level with these poor kids who have to work with good old me.
Is she voiceover as well or acting?
Yeah,
oh,
but she doesn't like to admit it. Oh, she's going to see this. But her current income is voiceover. Mm-hmm. She's got huge upside. She's level whatever at Groundlings, and she makes stuff, and she's a creator writer. Actually, we're writing together. This is really weird. We're writing a screenplay.
No way.
So is everyone, right? But I really do write and produce stuff. Like I had 2 series in Canada that I created and
Animated
wrote lots
or
of.
live action?
Animated, yeah.
Very cool.
So anyway, the daughter voiceover, yeah. So I mean, she's got huge upside, and she will do great things in this business. But I was talking about me. And I forgot.
Music up in Canada. And all that,
yeah, in
and where it
Canada.
all
So I
came
came
from.
here, right? So I came here, and what happened was I worked a lot in animation in Canada, and there's kind of there's a bit of a glass ceiling where he's on too much stuff. Mm-hmm. We've heard him before, even though it's really weird. I mean, they're not seeing me. Thank the Lord. Because I sound a lot young, or I can sound a lot younger than I am, and that's a whole nother thing. But
it's delightful. There are many things I have seen that you have been in based on that reel.
Yeah.
That I had no idea who the person was,
Sure.
but I certainly didn't know it was somebody that we relatively know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
yeah.
cool.
I know. And you
I've
don't
seen almost all of those things.
like. I don't want to be seen. Like, and my webpage and everything. You won't find pictures of me because I find it's a detriment. Actually, it's seriously
because of the age. Gray and the beard can't play kids. Is that what the idea is?
It's partially that. Yeah. I've shown up at an audition on a callback that I've recorded in my own facility, and this was a great one. It was for some 20-year-old guy, and we're sitting around. It was a weird kind of audition, and they they're looking down their clipboard. Okay, next, Ian, and they look around, and I'm kind of like, that's me, and they're just looking right past me. And I'm saying, it's me. Like, it really is me. And then their face was just like,
Sir, are you with Ian? Is he in the restroom?
no, this is not. No. And then I went, it was a horrible, horrible audition. It's like, just don't look at me, okay? Judge me on my merits, please.
Just send the tape next time, right?
Just send
like
the
that.
tape.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but that's my business, right? Like, it's the voiceover is, the old expression, a face made for radio, right? Like, there's some really weird-looking
Quiz show.
people in radio, and they're fantastically talented, and that's kind of the way it should be. I mean, there's people that are made for on camera, and others.
I mean, yeah, but you're describing yourself to. I mean, I think you're a very handsome man
Well,
sitting
I'm not
before me. You know what I'm
hideously
saying?
deformed.
It's just that you don't match whatever the role you were
Exactly.
going for. It's Vince Vaughn in Swingers.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's my thing. Anyway, I hit this glass ceiling, and I just wasn't working as much as I needed to.
You saturated the market up in Canada.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Vancouver, in every aspect of film and TV, is a service town. Like, productions come there to do things. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, on a good year, you might get 3 new animated series that sort of come to town and go, okay, we're going to cast this and we're going to record it. It's usually more like 1 or 2, because the market has changed now as well. It used to be more than that. And if you don't snag one of those, you're kind of done.
You're unemployed, right?
And I didn't want to start selling Mercedes, which I could, but I just didn't want to do that.
Right.
So I went, I'm, pulling up the truck and moving to Beverly.
Wow.
Nice.
It
pull.
wasn't quite. Is that
I
how
know.
it went?
I don't know.
Cement pond?
Something. You know what I meant.
Of course I do.
Yeah. So I moved here.
They just sold that for $150 million last year, or a couple years ago.
The mansion. Yeah.
$150 million.
I got to drive by that.
Crazy.
They'll probably knock it down, right, and put something else up.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Big cement pond.
Yep.
Where was that?
Beverly Hills, someplace.
Somewhere.
Right.
I hope it's in Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills proper, someplace on the flats. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have never been by it. It's one of those like enigmas to
Well,
me.
this is another thing about living here now is there's so much of that stuff. Like one of my other walks, I was mentioning this was on my walk route.
Yes.
And then one of my other walks when I moved to Los Feliz was up the hill, and I loved going to the houses that Walt Disney used to own. So there was like the modest one that him and his brother Roy bought side by side that still exists there. And then up the hill, it's like, okay, now he's really doing well.
Yeah, that's
and it's this
interesting.
sort of Tudor style brick and English looking thing. It's really cool.
Are these up in Griffith or just in the like on the hills
On the
leading
hill,
up to?
yeah, on the hills,
Getting there.
east and below where the observatory is.
Right. So
Like
not
near-
Vermont and all that.
Yeah, well, near the sort of near the Greek. It's up in there.
Oh yeah, that is where I was thinking.
Yeah, that's
where I was thinking.
it's-
There's so many film houses up there.
And there's a bunch
including
of
the Frank
like
Lloyd
the
Wright
streets
houses.
are yeah. There's like British names, like Cumberland and
Yeah.
other stuff. Anyway,
But
it's up there.
the Ennis Brown house is up there, the Frank Lloyd Wright one, and the house from Vacation is there. They're from National
is that
Lampoon's
right?
Vacation. Yeah.
Yeah.
right
Oh,
at the
see,
bottom.
now I got other stuff to look.
There's you have
for.
no idea. There's so much, and he knows so much.
Well, I'm a
It's
nerd.
awesome.
I'm a
Oh,
nerd. So
well-
all the things you're mentioning, I'm like, oh, I love that stuff.
On my other walk, I hope there's no agenda here because I'm
None.
just chatting.
No, love it.
On my other walk, when I was in this neighborhood going that way, I was walking around and I love houses. I just do. And I looked at this one and I went, man, what a Brady Bunch house, which is
Oh.
a term that my wife and I have for houses of that
Of
style and that
mid-century
era.
style. Of course,
well,
if you were to go right over
It was
here,
the real
2
one.
blocks
you're
over
beating
and
me
one
to
up.
it. Exactly. And so I sent her a picture. Hey, look at this classic Brady Bunch house. And then I realized, oh,
Holy
that's the
smokes.
house.
It's
How
really
long
the
ago
Brady
was it?
Bunch.
5 years ago,
Oh, so it was
before
in
the
be-
big.
So it didn't. It still had that fence and everything.
Yeah.
So it could have been a different house.
Yeah.
with the same
Yeah.
address.
So my instincts were right.
yeah, you got it.
Very important that I'm right.
Control issue.
Oh yeah,
We already talked
See,
about that.
I do have control issues.
Like
It's just
Yeah,
come up in
you
different
do.
other places.
Let go.
All right, guilty as charged.
So I want to figure out how you go from music. Did you ever do acting at all?
Oh.
And not that you're not acting now. Forgive the term, but you
No,
know what I
no,
mean,
no,
like
no,
live
no.
action.
No, I
acting.
know.
Okay.
No, please. There is.
Can
there
you do
is-
any characters?
There is zero ego when it comes to what you call me or what I do for a living. I am a journeyman.
Oh,
Give
I
me
love
the-
that tradesman.
Give
Love
me
it.
the lines.
Tell
what
me
do
how
you
you want
want? Let's go.
So, would you be offended if a director ever gave you a line read?
Not in the slightest.
I was never either. In the few things I ever did, I thought that was helpful.
What do you
and
want?
Got,
Yeah.
and got the day moving.
Yep.
Yeah.
I used to work with a very famous voice director who is now retired. Her name is Andrea Romano. She did like everything. All the Animaniac stuff.
Also, right around the corner.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, she was a very caring, kind director and would, nurture you along in whatever the line was.
More than what you get these days, a lot of times.
No, there's some good ones. There's some very good ones. She was just outstanding.
Oh, I see.
And I think her thing, I didn't really put a clock on it, but it was sort of like, well, after 3 takes, I think I'm going to just read it for you. And then when they would, the actor,
I know what I want.
It wasn't me. It was never me. But the other actor would then perform the line just the way she read it. And I loved her comeback because it was not lost on her. She goes, I like it when you do it just like me. Moving on.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was great. And I think in my part of the acting world, there's a lot less of the don't you dare give me a line read. I'm emoting. I'm an actor. It's like, no.
I'm sitting in a box.
I mean, we are actors, sure, but it's a different toolbox. Very different. And, you get film and TV people coming in and you just go, oh, wow, that's bad. Because it's all up here and it's all.
That's what I was going to say. Is some of it because it is all up here and just your tether versus you don't have to put on makeup and your wardrobe and you don't have to stand there and look pretty. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of other. You're talking about ego before no ego.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other things that get inflated even if you don't want them to when someone is primping you and propping
Absolutely.
you and doing all the stuff.
Absolutely.
And then you have to then maintain that and hold that up.
Yep.
So if all of that is, I'm not trying to say it's easier, but you must pull from a different place. It's less complex, but maybe
Here's
different.
the people that come into a voiceover session, specifically animation. And there's a galaxy of different types of animation. There's very dramatic sort of video game style stuff, and then there's like the wacky, like that stuff, right? And it's everything. But the people that come from outside of my world, our world, that are good almost immediately are theater people, stage people. because they
willing to go there.
They get projection. They get that you can't. Oh, jeez.
We can move that.
No, it's fine. they get that there's no close up, and it's like all in my eyes,
Right.
No, it's not.
You have to do it.
You got to sound like it's in your eyes, right? And theater people get that. So whenever someone comes in who's really good right away, I talk to them. So what's your background? Well, I was in New York I did a lot of theater. And you go, yeah, I know.
You can tell.
Yeah.
In a good way.
In a very good way, yeah.
You, a moment ago, went into almost a little Jerry Lewis.
Sure.
Now, the only animated character that is like the Nutty Professor I can think of is the one from The Simpsons, the scientist from The Simpsons.
Yes.
And it's Hank Azaria basically doing that Nutty Professor character.
Yes.
Is there someone else I can't think of? Or have you
Well,
done a character like that? Because
I
you
have.
do it very, very well to the point where it sounds like Jerry Lewis.
One of my favorite characters, and it was not, I didn't go into it saying I'm going to do Jerry Lewis, but I'm a huge fan. This is a really old cartoon, old reference, but if your audience has nerds, they'll know this. It was for The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, sure.
And the two...
Presented by Sega.
That's right. That's right. So there was the Dr. Robotnik's two henchmen and the monkey. And I played the monkey named Coconuts. And it's one of my favorite roles because it was one of the first ones that I could just be
Totally good, Dr. Robotnik. Don't hit me. Please don't put me on sanitation patrol.
and it was like that. And I just really enjoyed that character because it was the first time I was able to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Because you're doing it, but, well, this... All right. I have a different question, but
Yeah.
it's the same thing almost backwards. Have you ever had to go in and this came up to my mind when I was watching your reel. Has anybody ever... There's probably a way to say this, and I don't really know what it is. Because I would imagine you probably run into it a lot.
It's going to be hurtful, isn't it?
No. What if you're so talented, you can do all these voices. Has anyone ever hired you to do someone else's voice when they could have hired that guy?
Ooh.
Good question.
Well...
Because I know people that have had that happen, especially for, you mentioned a moment ago, video games, when the real guy maybe won't go read the fucking scratch for Shark Tank, the game.
Yes. So, yeah, that's very common. Now, there's two levels of that. There's, like, the commercial level, and you really can't or shouldn't be hiring someone to just sound like someone else.
Yeah.
And there was a
Especially
big
in
deal in
union.
the music business, too, where, like, we can't afford the actual Aretha Franklin track, so let's just reproduce it and get a sound alike.
Pharrell with Blurred Lines. We were just talking about this yesterday.
Yeah.
He lost that one, even though he probably played by the rules. And,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So anyway, yes, I have.
Okay.
And the most recent one was... Now, I was really excited about this because I love this actor. And I never really thought that I sounded like him. But as I was working on the thing, I went, oh, yeah, that's pretty good. In a, like a certain box. And it's Sam Rockwell.
Oh, whoa.
No shit.
So I scratched and replaced a whole, but I'm not
Just
sure if
as
I'm
him-
supposed to talk about
Oh,
this.
it's not out yet, maybe.
I'm not going to tell you what it was, what the project
perfect.
was, but it's voice specific. It's not like
just him talking, not his character from Green Mile, which,
Correct.
I could probably do. Okay.
So he's it's an animated project.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I love it.
Yeah, so that was a good one, and then I've also replaced for very specific reasons of availability. Like the actor's just not here; he's in England, so we got to get a guy. And
We wrote a new line. We need to tape it.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. So the other one that I did was, and I always get hammered for this because I don't know what the right pronunciation is, but it's Ralph Fiennes or
Oh, I think you're
Rafe,
right. Oh, shit.
right? See, and then you get that.
I'm over here like, no, it's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, Rafe Fiennes, Ralph Fiennes. You know who I'm talking about.
But you meant yes, and you said voice for radio, and I said quiz show, and he's the star of that movie.
Right. So that was for Lego Batman.
Oh no shit!
And a bunch of commercials that he was not interested in doing for like Lego and
That's exactly what happened to my friend
Whatever.
who did did a bunch of voices on the video games or the releases, the menus for the DVD, all that stuff.
Yep. There's a galaxy of jobs out there that.
And that's a different job. That's what I was going to say. Like, then voicing a character for something, like reading menus is different.
Right, exactly.
And that's totally fine.
But I don't mean like the
completely fine.
toothpaste or whatever. I mean like Shrek and Donkey.
Yeah.
He's doing both Eddie Murphy and Mike Myers for call it a game or a menu or whatever.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
So that's.
Does anyone ever know? Do they even care?
Oh, I think it's funny. I was watching Disney Plus the other night, as you do, and I was watching
Too much Star Wars on that for us. We didn't get it.
Yeah, you know what? I don't. I'm not really a Star Wars guy, so I didn't get it.
But you're our only hope, or whatever. The guy, right?
Yeah, sure.
I could see that. Obi-Wan.
Right.
It's Alec Guinness, right? I could see that.
Well, or old Luke, maybe.
Oh no, I was thinking you were a young Alec Guinness.
Okay. Well, that's that's
with
better.
these are the droids. You look at the whole thing.
Anyway, so I was watching it, and they had this Toy Story short because I like the
right, back to your
Pixar
story.
shorts.
I'm sorry.
It's quite all right. And the pig, I think it's the piggy bank, is voiced by John Ratzenberger, and both my daughter and I went, "That's not the guy." Mm-hmm. Yet we waited for the credits, and that was John Ratzenberger.
Yeah, we did that with the last couple movies. He doesn't sound like himself anymore.
I guess that's what it
was
is.
Like the third Cars, I think we checked it too.
Yeah.
We weren't sure it was him anymore. Because he's been the guy that's in all of them.
He's in all of them.
One of the Cars movies, I think they even played. Wait a minute, this is the same actor over and over again.
Right.
It's
It's like a good luck charm or something. Because I have a friend that used to be living here that now lives on an island in Vancouver, on Salt Spring Island, who has been in. I think he's been in every Pixar movie in some way, shape, or form.
Cool.
Love that.
Yeah.
And he chooses to live on an island in
Yes,
Vancouver.
he does.
That's awesome.
Him and his wife moved up there. It's got to be more than 10 years ago, and they just wanted out.
Yeah.
LA
That's
wasn't for them. I love LA. I want to.
But you've only been here 5 years.
Bigger
What?
sitter?
What?
I want a bigger sitter to look after me. I really like big cities. Like, I love New York.
Sure.
I love London.
Okay.
I don't think I can afford to live the way I want to live in
either
New
of
York,
those?
in either of those.
Yeah.
But I like a big, concentrated city stuff. I'm not, going out partying every night, but I just want to know what's there.
Interesting.
Can I get something quickly? Is there good food options? That kind of thing.
You like resources. You like having resources available
it's
to you
so
at all
weird
times.
here. I mean, you drive everywhere, right? Like, you just drive.
Yep.
And drive. And drive. I'm used to walking neighborhoods, like in my house in Vancouver, we still have a place there, is like on Main Street. That's the name of the street.
Wow.
And it's very much
one traffic light town.
No, it's bustling.
Vancouver is hectic.
Oh, you're actually in the city.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Hence the I love big cities. Who's paying attention? I am.
It's okay. Main Street is very much like Main Street in our part of Main Street is very much like Main Street in Santa Monica, if you're familiar with that.
We used
Like,
to live right there.
Lots of stuff.
We lived right there until it got too
exactly.
crazy that we left.
Yeah.
And every fourth one is a bicycle store.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my neighborhood in Vancouver. So anyway, I like neighborhoods. I like walking. So this idea of, and I like driving as well, obviously, but not to do everything.
Right.
And I really kind of miss that.
You have to here, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing we moved from that Venice area over to here, and we thought, I don't know if we'll walk as much. I don't know if it's this. It's probably about the same. I mean, you walking these days isn't that big a deal. But when we first moved here,
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of restaurants and stuff. I don't know. LA in general is a weird one. If you're in a pocket where you can walk somewhere, it's
and they're everywhere. Like they're you have to know where to go, right? Like, oh, there's that pocket. Like, currently we live in Atwater Village.
Okay.
That's a pocket, right?
It is.
Los Feliz, we used to live between the two main streets, Hillhurst and Vermont.
Oh, right.
Another pocket.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a very
so
nice
I was
pocket.
searching for those things in
That's
this big
different.
tilt.
You're right. I walked a lot more there, but like I wouldn't now because I don't like any of those places I went to.
Right.
It's more like I can work here and that's fine for an hour and walk home. Like,
Yeah.
doing this, if we still lived in Venice and did this show, I don't know that we'd even be able to because we'd have less than half the guests. I mean, luckily being where we are is so, while it doesn't seem like, the valley, I don't know, it's actually incredibly freeway friendly where we are.
Absolutely. Like even though I was late.
1 minute.
I'm just still late. Like I'm 12 minutes away.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And you look at it on a map. Oh, that's really close. Because I know where you guys are.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like somebody comes from Westlake Village and like, oh yeah, no, it was easy, 15 minutes. And somebody comes from downtown. Oh yeah, 12 minutes. I was here, no big deal.
Versus where we were
out towards the water.
It used to take an hour just to get to
a road to leave.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I was just talking about that with someone. It's just a different lifestyle.
Yeah. The air's good though.
Yeah, that you can't beat that. But that's another thing about living here, though. We get this, not that you want the Hollywood air, but it's like 20 degrees cooler than the rest of the valley, I guess, because of this.
Because you're close to the mountain, I think.
Is that, or the Cahuenga Pass there? It seems to cut through.
Let's just go with that. Who's going to
Did you ever do any live action work on the Universal Backlot ever?
No live action.
The coldest place in all of Los Angeles.
Oh, really?
It's you have to bundle up in like parkas and gloves and scarves at night to work on the Universal Backlot. Can't describe why it gets so effing cold, but it's right across the street.
Wow.
And so whatever, the way the wind cuts through the Cahuenga Pass there. It's a weird little
microclimate
ecosystem. Yeah, microclimate.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, you're so intelligent.
Oh, yeah. It's the glasses. My superpower.
Was comedy ever a thing for you? You're very funny naturally.
Yes. I mean, I've written a lot of comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Actually, I did stand up for the first time.
What? Where? When?
About 6 months ago at Flappers. What? But it was a voice thing. It was like. I guess they have a comedy festival there.
Yes.
It was part of the comedy festival. And then there's a guy who puts together like a lineup of, I think it's called, We Talk Funny.
Okay.
That's the title of the thing. Mm-hmm. And I said, sure, I'll come, because I thought it was a panel. I do lots of panels, for conventions, right?
Especially We Talk Funny. Oh, there's going to be 5, 6 of us up there.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then he said, well, no, it's stand-up. And I went, I've never done stand-up.
Yeah, but you could.
Well, I did.
Yeah.
And basically I said, look, I was really honest with the audience. I said, the jokes will come, but I'm just going to tell you stories. So that's what I did. And, they laughed.
How long did you do? How long did they give you?
Well, that was another problem.
You're not in an open mic thing where they're going to yank it after 2 or 3 minutes.
Well, a little bit.
Okay.
There was, he didn't tell me that I had a time limit. So I just, I probably wrote like 10 minutes worth of stuff. I thought, that's enough of me. And the lights started flashing as they do in comedy clubs. And I don't know when that was. I think it was 5 minutes. And I went, I gotta do some cutting. So I did. And everyone seemed to enjoy it. There was like some real comedians there, and they were very supportive and said,
especially during the Comedy Fest.
Yeah.
Would you do it again?
Maybe. But it's not. See,
what's the benefit? What's the upside?
Here's the problem. I'm really comfortable in situations like this where it's just like wing, 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 wang, wang. If I have to like remember points and like, okay, so this joke goes like this, and this, and then this joke, goes into that one and it folds in there, and then there's that punchline.
The mechanics and logistics.
Yeah. Plus, even, I'm thinking about it right now in a very real way because of my experience. I'm going, no, it's not really for me. But years and years ago, I used to watch stand-up comedians and just went, I couldn't do it because I would be so bored by my own repetition.
He says that too.
I could never do this. I can't do material. I've gone up before. In fact, I've hosted, well, obviously, but I mean, in crowds, I've hosted many, many things.
Yeah, it's a different skill set.
From burlesque shows to beauty pageants and everything in between. I find that I am very natural, and the crowd likes me more when I am able to just do crowd work and work with them and this person and that person and the whole thing. If I have to go regurgitate my material that I've worked on and I've honed, it's so unnatural for me to speak that way.
Yep.
I feel like I'm I'm lying to you. I'm hacky.
Yeah.
I'm not this clever. I already figured this shit out. Like,
Yeah.
There's something about it.
I
Doesn't feel
know,
honest to me.
and it's not to diminish. Like, I mean,
Dear Lord, like a Jerry Seinfeld.
they're
No, those
fantastic.
guys are great.
They do it. That you go do that. Like, that's just not for me. So yeah, and back to your earlier question about like acting. I did it in school. You know, you do the plays. I was never really completely ever off book.
Yeah.
Because, and this is another family issue. Like my wife and daughter go, "Oh, don't say that about yourself. It's not true. I think you just don't want to." I don't think I can remember dialogue. Now, there's a couple of reasons for that. Because I write, when I write something, I want it like I write it. I want it to sound like this. Mm-hmm. So if you go in kind of going, "Hey, I know what you mean. I'm going to read it kind of like this," and no, because that's not the way I constructed it. So here's my excuse. I'm so concerned about honoring the script that if I'm not like perfect, I'm not going to do it. So maybe somewhere in my pea brain, it goes, well, you can't memorize stuff then. Because I find it really difficult. I guess I could.
I love what you're saying.
I think I can
and I love
memorize
where
it.
you're leaning, because I have the same thing and I don't know where to put it. I don't know why to say you can't say this word anymore, but why I'm full-blown retarded in some ways about
that.
things that and I'm using it in the, why are you retarded?
Yeah, like there's something. I use the expression "a circuit's missing."
Screw loose in the old days. All the things work.
But my wife and daughter, they hate when I say that.
But you're not getting down on yourself by saying
No,
that.
it's
You're
not.
owning
It's just,
your own abilities.
Yeah. And I'm not required to do it.
Right.
So, big deal. It's like asking a guy, cars, asking the mechanic, "Hey, can you fix my quarter panel dent?"
I mean,
no.
I mean, maybe, but you're not going to be happy with the work.
Exactly. That's not what I do.
Right.
I don't need to do that. There's a guy over there that does that.
Yeah, and he's really good at it. Go to see him.
So when, like, sight reading a script, and I do believe this came from my early days in doing commercials, because I found that if I approached a piece of copy fresh, it was usually better.
I'm the same way.
And because I work on it, and work on it, you go, it's stiff, and now you're overthinking it, and that's another story.
I find with most things, and this is going to make it sound like I'm a bad writer, I find with most things I'm better delivering the material that someone else wrote. Otherwise, don't write it down for me. If it's my thought or my whatever, just let it come from the creative tether of wherever that is.
Yeah. No, I agree
but I
with
don't
that.
mind delivering someone else's, especially if it's in this type of format where I can almost borderline, well, these are someone else's words, so I'm just going to get through it, that kind of thing.
Right.
Do you probably can't do that with what you do, because they're trying to get something very
yeah. It's very
We're
specific.
paying you a lot of money to do this
just
my
read
way.
that. Just read that.
Wow.
Okay. I can do that.
All right. Switching gears just very quickly, because I want to make sure we have time for cars, and we're already over the hour, believe it or not.
Wow.
Because you're just delightful to talk to. Will you come back? Can we just say that now? Come back, because we're not going to get to all this stuff. The Porsche 912 that you have electrified and drive all over the place.
Yep.
This is an amazing thing. You've done it and actually drive yours. We know a lot of people, including Telefunken, who was here last week. I mean, they're building an RSR electric as well. They're doing all sorts of different things. But you are actually, it's done. You drive it around all the time.
Yeah.
How did that come to be? Why did you do it? How did you do it?
Okay. Well, it all started. Have you seen my Vespa?
Oh, I don't know.
I doubt it, because it's just been on the road for the last month or two.
Oh, probably not. No, I haven't seen you in a couple months.
Okay, so
although we've been at a lot of the same things,
I know, but it's
you see
limited.
the car and then not the person.
Right. So
No, I've not seen your Vespa.
okay,
Continue.
Thank you. Okay, so I have this Vespa. It's a 63. It's arguably a 62. Depends on what paperwork you go by. Anyway, that doesn't matter.
Not seeing the Vespa.
That does not matter. It's not pertinent to the story.
It's from the 60s.
It's from
old.
the 60s, like I am.
Great.
And I had this thing. It's an Italian rebuilt, beautiful Vespa. This is like 20 years ago I got it. And it was completely rebuilt, electric start, I'll get to the car.
No, it's okay.
And living in Vancouver, it was clearly this is like a limited riding
you get a
proposition.
few months a year, and that's it.
Yeah, a few months, and then within those months, like, is it a nice day today? So on those nice days, on a weekend, on the right day when you felt like riding it, like I'd go out there and go, okay, it's great. I've got this rebuilt Vespa. I'm going to just, no, it would never start. Okay, now I'll try and kickstart it. Nope, that's not working either. And then I would, I'd take the cowl off and look at it and go, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway.
That's the problem with the 63, arguably 62.
Yes, it is. It's Italian. No offense to my Italian friends, but... So anyway, I found this guy in Seattle who was converting vintage Vespas to electric drive and using a Chinese hub motor from like a Chinese electric scooter. They're like 11 inches within the hub. That's the motor.
Roughly the same size, I would guess.
Yeah, exactly the same size.
Wow.
But you had to reconfigure and put a thing on. So he sold this kit. And I went, I'm going to try that. It's just a scooter, right? So I had a friend who was mechanically inclined, and he wired it up, installed everything, and I got on it, and I just went, this is the best thing ever. It goes.
Transformed it.
Yeah. When I want it to go, it goes fast. I never have to worry about it. All I have to do is charge it. I think it only had like 25 miles range.
On a scooter, that's probably more than fine, I'm
Lots.
thinking, right?
I'm a city guy, right?
25, 40 miles,
Vancouver,
you're good.
is weather a problem as much? Yeah.
Yes. This is part of the problem
Got it.
of being able to ride it when you want to ride it, because it's relentless. Pissing rain all the time.
Yeah, I knew that. I didn't know if the electric made any of that easier.
No,
that's a good
no,
point.
that is a good point. I mean, it just makes it better because you can get on it and depend
And
on
leave
it to go. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a very long way to get to where
No, but I'm
gonna
glad
get
that
to.
you did this because I see the
So there's a line of logic here. What happened was during those years, I had a string of new 911s. Like, give me the next one. Give me the next one. Just like every douchebag.
I used to do it with BMWs. I know.
Yeah. And
Get the new M3, the new M4. I want it.
Exactly. So that's the side story. What this scooter project did was, now when I looked at my scooter, I became attached to it because I went, that's like I felt with my old cars, like when I was a teenager.
Yes.
That's my car.
Yes.
That's my car. Hey, that one over there, that's mine.
That's
Whereas
exactly
the
the
911s, with the new ones, it was like, this car is great, but
it's
I'm waiting
generic.
for the
It's-
next one.
Yeah.
It's like some people
At
do
all
with
times.
with
The moment
relationships.
it arrives, you're already ordering the next one, speccing it out.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
it's
the
like
same way.
speaking of douchebags, it's like people do that with wives. Like what's the next one? This one's
Totally.
fine
I used
until
to hear
there's another
shit
one.
like that all
Totally.
the time. I
And
totally
it's,
know
and
you.
Clients, yeah.
it's awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that sort of rekindled my like love of a vehicle.
This is literally what happened to us too. The same story.
Yeah. So then also the economics of having the next new 911.
Oh, maintaining it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like that's really
It's
expensive.
a young man's game.
Very young man's game. And I had two
Totally.
kids in private schools, and I was looking at the bill there and looking at that
No,
bill and
you're
going,
good. Get rid of that
"Ooh,
car.
yeah, I think something's got to change. So I kind of cold turkeyed and went, I'm not getting a new 911. This I think the last new one I had was about 2011.
Okay.
Something like that. And that's it. Enough. So, I got all the cars that I felt like having. I had a Golf GTI.
Yeah.
I had a Mini Cooper. I had an Audi TT.
You went through all the other fun cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Because these are normal.
Yep.
That's fine. But I didn't love
Well,
any
they're
of them.
borderline free compared to the 911 too.
Yeah. So
you're being very responsible with this decision. Having fun but responsibly.
Exactly. So then I applied what I learned with the Vespa to a car project, because I went, what I really want is a car that I'm going to keep for a long time and go, that's my car.
Identify with.
Exactly. And I enjoyed the Vespa project so much, the end result of the Vespa project, that I said, I'm going to do this to a car.
Yep.
And I started out with the idea of doing it to a Beetle, because I love Volkswagen Beetles.
Absolutely.
Just do. It was one of my first cars. And then, I was looking around, and I thought, well, I'm going to get one that's in really good shape, and then we're going to convert it.
I see where you're going with this.
And that got very expensive.
Yep. Once
It got
you're looking
very
at those
expensive.
numbers,
So
This is easy.
I'm looking at the Beetle, and I go, geez, like to get a nice one is like 20 or 30 grand for like.
I'm already spending that.
Yeah. So then I went, what am I doing? Oh, and then I shifted to a Carmen Ghia. Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool one.
And I started looking around that. Oh boy, try to find one in decent shape.
Same
Like,
issues, yeah.
Terrible. And then bing, light bulb. You're a Porsche guy. What's the matter with you? Right. I know what I'll do. And I specifically went looking for a 912 because I didn't want to get struck by lightning by the Porsche gods.
By butchering a 911.
Exactly. Because not that I really care what people think, but I care what people think. And so I found this 912.
You're building a car that's something different that you're going to have to talk about all the time.
Exactly.
We talked about it before the show. People are going to ask you at the not the gas station, but anywhere else.
Your front door. Yeah. So I found this 912, basically a barn find. It was really rough. Didn't think it was as rough as it turned out to be. But in Arizona, and then it was supposed to be a dry car. Didn't start his life in Arizona though.
Oh.
So that's part of the problem. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway,
Sure,
very long story short. Very long story short. Restored it. Built version 1 of the electrics there in Arizona. Something big happened, and I built it again here in California at EV West.
Holy
That's
smokes.
the compressed story.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to keep going, but we've also gone so long that I'd love to just stop right here and say
Pause.
say let's do a part 2 like soon, like if you're available to coordinate this. Yeah. I'm not at all through with you, and I don't feel like you're through with us.
Well, I'm a yacker, so.
Yeah, but I'm interested in all. You're a yacker. Look at me.
Okay, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
Seriously.
Okay. Guilty as charged.
All right. Well, in that case, let's put a pin in it and let's come back.
See you next month.
Yeah.
I'll email you.
Awesome.
Mrs. Ryan, in that case,
Yes,
what do we
sir.
have? Thank you very much for being here. I've enjoyed
My
the
pleasure.
hell out of this to
Yeah.
the point where, like,
Thank
I don't
you.
want it to stop, but we need to so we can do another.
Absolutely.
Mrs. Ryan, tomorrow, David Bowie is here tomorrow? I don't believe that.
From Shameless. The comedic actor David
Bow.
Bow.
I wrote Bowie because it's Bowe and it's IE. Okay. David Bowe is somebody, people may not know his name, but you're going to know his face when he gets in here. He's been in A Few Good Men. He was in The Rock. Gentlemen, welcome to The Rock.
Oh, he's that guy?
No, that's Sean Connery. But but he's in that movie. You'll know his face when he gets in here. He's been in tons and tons and
He's
tons
been
and tons
in A Few
and
Good
tons
Men.
of things.
If I had a nickel,
Oh, boy. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You're a...
I can't wait to have
I
you
heard
back.
it. I heard it.
I'm sorry.
That was brutal.
Oh, that's linguist.
And then Thursday,
knowledge.
Chris Gabriel will be here. All right, this is right. I love you so much. We love everybody at home. Ian, we love you, mister. I can't wait for you to be back here.
Thank you. It's been a
More to
pleasure.
come with Ian and everything else. Wrap it up. See you later.
And then we clap.
Never done.